Hello, and welcome to the Sparta Group podcast. We aim to provide you with up-to-date interviews and debate with opinion leaders in the health, well-being, rehabilitation and mental health space, from our studio or from conferences.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Anthony of Sparta Health, and today we'll be taking a look at autosuggestion. Now, autosuggestion is something many of you may not have heard of, but it's something I can almost guarantee you have done at some point. In fact, you've probably done it at least a couple of times a day. Now, autosuggestion is when a person influences their own behaviours and attitudes using their subconscious. It's when you create an idea yourself without often knowing, and is a process where somebody can convince themselves that something is true when it's not. It's known as being a lot like mind over matter, as your brain can overrule a situation or a physical force and convince you that you should react, behave or feel in a certain way, even without you knowing. The best way to understand autosuggestion and to see how often we use it in our everyday lives, it's good to look at some examples. Firstly, the placebo effect is a great example to look at, as it is based entirely around autosuggestion. What is a placebo effect, you may ask? Well, in medicine, the placebo effect is when someone thinks they are receiving a drug for their condition. It's most commonly used in clinical trials, when really they are sort of getting something that only looks like the drug and doesn't actually have any medical effect. However, people taking the drug aren't aware that it's fake, and so the brain convinces them that they are getting better and that the medicine is working. Therefore, the patients may report back to the doctor saying they feel cured, when really it's just in their mind. This can allow doctors to see when a medical treatment is working and when it isn't, in order to judge its effectiveness. Essentially, this is all autosuggestion. The patient's subconscious is able to convince them that something is happening when really it isn't. A simpler example that we do every day is smiling. When we're in certain situations where it's polite or appropriate to smile, we usually do this without thinking. Our subconscious tells us we're happy and that we should smile when we see something we like or something we find amusing, and makes us smile without us actively choosing to do so. Society has trained us to know when certain responses are needed, and so it becomes a natural reaction. We haven't actually taught ourselves to do it, like we might teach ourselves or someone might teach us, for example, to ride a bike or to swim, but our brains have learnt from the things and people around us. Breathing is another similar example. We breathe without thinking or telling ourselves to do so. It's something that we know to do and is completely involuntary. Now, a final example is when we wake up in the morning. Do you automatically wake up at a certain time every morning? Have you ever wondered why it is at night we know it's time to sleep, and in the morning we know when we should wake up? Well, that's all autosuggestion. You can't tell yourself to wake up when you're asleep, and you don't suddenly decide to do it, unless you're skilled in the art of lucid dreaming. It's something that your brain chooses and makes happen without you consciously knowing. So now we're going to talk about autosuggestion and its link with hypnosis. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard of or maybe even participated in hypnosis. It's something that divides a lot of people, as many think it's a load of nonsense, whilst others think it's great and a very real thing. Well, the whole basis and principle of hypnosis is autosuggestion. Now, the inventor of hypnosis, James Braid, describes hypnosis as somebody focusing their attention on one expectant and dominant idea. Hypnosis is the process whereby a certified professional, at least hopefully, puts someone into a deep trance-like state of relaxation. The state then allows your mind to become more alert, and it takes what is said to you as reality. So, for example, if a hypnotist says, maybe your leg is hurting, you could possibly feel a sensation of pain in your leg. This is autosuggestion through and through, and demonstrates how your subconscious can trick itself that something is real and that you feel a certain way, even when you don't. Hypnotherapy can actually be extremely useful and help people tackle lots of issues in their lives. For example, if you've always had a fear of spiders, a hypnotist can bring your attention to this, and they will say things that mean when you next come into contact or see a spider, you won't go into as much of a panic and won't be as scared. Your brain will know the new way to react without you having to subconsciously decide anything. Autosuggestion is sometimes referred to as self-hypnosis, especially when it happens in everyday life, as you are suggesting an idea to yourself without you even knowing. Essentially, you are convincing and telling yourself to react a certain way to a situation without consciously deciding to do so. So how can you use autosuggestion to benefit your life? Well, you might think autosuggestion is something you have no control over, and it's just a part of the way that the human body and mind works. However, there's actually a lot more to it, and you can utilize autosuggestion to positively impact your mood and general mental health. For example, have you ever said to yourself you're sick and tired of someone or something and then actually felt your mood drop? Or have you spoken badly about someone and maybe said they're a pain and then actually felt some sort of muscle pain or headache? Well, when you feel an emotion or tell yourself that you feel a certain way, then it can actually transfer to your body and your brain can turn it into a physical feeling. It sounds crazy, I know, but this is what happens with autosuggestion. Your brain hears that you're sick and tired or hears the word pain, and it creates a response without you choosing to do so. This is how autosuggestion can actually have a negative effect on you and can make you feel down and upset for no reason. Another example that might better explain this is how you might be in a situation where the expected response would be anger. You might not actually feel angry, but because you feel like you should be, and that's the way that other people might react, you involuntarily make yourself feel that emotion. This then means you show anger, which can negatively affect your mood. So how can you use autosuggestion to your advantage? Well, all you have to do is tell yourself that you're happy. Obviously, this won't always work, as there are sort of real situations in life when you're genuinely upset, angry, hurt, and unfortunately, that's just part of life. However, there will be times when perhaps you're stuck in a long queue, your work colleague is irritating you, or maybe you find yourself feeling sluggish and non-productive. Well, when you feel those emotions start to arise, or think that you should respond a certain way, take the time to actively take note of this and tell yourself not to react. Tell yourself that actually you'll be happy today. If you keep telling yourself that you're happy and repeat it to yourself, either out loud or in your mind, then you can actually use autosuggestion to convince yourself that you're happy. Sometimes all it takes is to take a step back to actually notice your reactions and emotions and ask yourself if you really need to be feeling or acting that way. The best thing to think about when understanding the positive impact of autosuggestion is how it follows the law of attraction. The law of attraction, put simply, is where you will something to happen, and it does. So if you keep telling yourself you will get a certain job, then many people believe by the law of attraction you are more likely to get it. So if you keep telling yourself you feel a certain way, or will yourself to feel a certain way, then you can attract that emotion to you. So now you know what a positive impact autosuggestion can have when used right, it would be good to know what techniques you can use to practice autosuggestion and get the most out of it. Now, the first technique is to make and stick to a daily routine. The best way to train your brain and make it to do something you want it to do is to create a routine where you make and plan what you want to do every day and stick to it. So for example, if you want to train your mind to know to wake up at 7 a.m, then you need to make a plan to wake up at 7 a.m. every single day and force yourself out of bed as soon as the alarm goes off. It might be hard at first, but once you've been doing this for about 2 weeks, your brain will know that's when you want and are ready to wake up, and it will do it subconsciously without you having to set the alarm. Now, as part of your routine, if you also set yourself the task every morning to do maybe some form of meditation, where you can clear your mind and fill it with only reaffirming positive thoughts. This can help allow you to tackle the rest of the day with persistence and determination. The second technique is to cancel negative thoughts. One of the best techniques to help spot when your autosuggestion cogs are wearing and to correct your thinking is to take note when you realise you are thinking negatively and erase those thoughts. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "That was stupid of me to say," or "Why am I like this?" then literally say in your mind, delete or cancel, or replace it instead with positive thoughts such as, "I'm improving, I will get better," or "I have so many amazing qualities that I need to be proud of." This will help turn a situation that could develop into you feeling down or insecure to you feeling confident and happy instead. It's simple but so effective. You just need to create a mental rubbish bin for all your negative auto-suggested thoughts. Now, a final idea or technique you could adapt to utilize auto-suggestion in a positive way is visualization. With this, what you do is you imagine yourself physically doing, achieving, or behaving the way that you want to. So, for example, if you're trying to use auto-suggestion to convince yourself you are happy, then picture yourself smiling and laughing, and it can help make your brain think that you're really happy. That's all there is to it, really, but it's proven that visualization is one of the most effective tools you can use in almost any situation, and this is true for autosuggestion. So autosuggestion is something that literally every single person does every day. It's something our brain knows to do without needing to be taught, and it has actually become a skill and a profession to utilize autosuggestion as a way to positively improve people's lives. Now, hopefully, you can stop and take note of when you are reacting negatively in a situation that might not really need such a response, and you can convince yourself to act differently in an attempt to positively impact your mood. A happier life with less needless frustration and anger is just around the corner. Thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed this podcast episode, make sure to subscribe for more content like today and tune into our next episode to learn more about behaviourism. I'll see you next time.
At Sparta Group, we are keen to hear your thoughts about the topics discussed today. So please tweet us at Sparta_health or visit our website for more information and support.